Christmas I picked myself up a TIG welder. Got myself a bottle of argon as well. It's a Parweld XDI 201. It's nothing fancy, but it get me starting. It's something I've been wanting to play with for quite a while. I'm going to start a series of welding videos, TIG welding videos. Not teaching people, because I'm teaching myself. This is my first ever weld, you can see here, and I'm just playing. So this is just not knowing what I'm doing at all, other than seeing little bits and pieces online. But it's something I want to teach myself. I teach myself how to MIG. Stick welding, well, as you've seen maybe in my other videos, not great at that. That won't be part of the machine I was using. I forgot about that bit on the video. I was actually welding on the tabletop, and I think the tabletop walked. I think it caught me by surprise there. But anyway, so I'm just going to record these as I go along, and what things I do find out I will say, because I'm going to be making mistakes, and probably plenty of them. Like this, for instance, I know it's only a flat sheet and I'm just running a bead of weld along it, but looking back on the video, I think I'm running a bit slow. One of the first things to note, as you're going to see here, beware of the amps. Bang, big hole. Now I know it's only a bit of tin plate, but that burnt through so easy and so quickly. So controlling the amps is quite a vital point. I'm using a foot pedal, and I will be posting later on in another video. I had a bit of a problem with it, but I don't think I realised it while I was doing this. The pedal was a bit stiff, and I think it was holding onto the amps a lot more than I expected. And about a week later, it wouldn't produce any amps. So I've got another video coming up about repairing that foot pedal. So after playing around with a bit of steel, I decided I had a cast iron manifold. So I've just cut some slots in it with an angle grinder. I thought I'd have a play with that. And I thought first of all I'd have a go with the steel rod, since I had the steel rods out. And so I decided just to run a bead up the cut slot and see how it reacted. I was expecting it to crack and be rather nasty, but in the end it actually turned out to be rather good. The reason I was practicing on a bit of cast iron is I had a job to do on a Victorian cast iron window frame. So this is nickel rod, or it's a nickel alloy. It's one of the materials that they recommend for welding cast iron. So I thought I'd have a little practice on that. And again, they're very similar welds to the steel. It bulked up a bit more actually in the weld, which was interesting. But they were two very similar looking welds. Now, as you can see the difference of the steel on the left and the nickel on the right. Now, this was the real experiment. This was an old typewriter. It had been on the scrap pile for God knows how long. I don't even know where it come from. And what was left of it was a cast iron frame. That's one thing to learn. don't touch your rod to the TIG tip. Anyway, this cast iron typewriter, it's very thin, and as I found out when I hit it with a hammer, very brittle, and I figured if I could weld that together, there was a fair chance I would be able to weld up the cast iron window frame. So none of the bits have been particularly highly cleaned. They've been ground back to bare metal where possible, and I don't know how to go. This, by the way, I turned the part over. I had trouble finding an earth point, so I was doing one of the tricks I do with MIG welding when I'm doing a restoration job or a repair on a car. If you have a problem finding an earth point, just get a bit of metal and MIG it with the earth clamp on it, and MIG that to the vehicle or whatever you want to weld, and then just leave the earth clamp attached to that. And that's what I've done with that bit of wire. You wouldn't think it would handle it, considering the same piece of wire thickness I'm welding with, but I guess it must be the way the arc reacts. So that's why I ticked a bit of wire on there. It's actually got the earth clamp hanging on the other end of it. You can hear it fizzing a little bit. I think that's probably just crap in the iron, but it did actually weld reasonably well. Even this thin, really thin lip that I'm just running along now, I managed to keep it intact. Well, that's the end of this first video. I'm going to drop some pictures in here, and I'll see you again in the next one. Ta-ra for now.